First, conditional. So we're going to talk about sentences like, for example, si trabajas más, aprobarás. If you work harder, you will pass. And this is the structure you have to follow. Now, we've got if, then subject, and then the verb. This is the condition, okay? But how are you going to say or write the verb? Now, you have to use the present simple. You know, I play, you play, we leave, he leaves, easy. And the second part of it, the result, it is going to be using will. Will go, will study, will pass. So in this case, you've got this sentence. If you work harder, you will pass. Now, we're going to use the first conditional with this structure for possible or likely situations now, something that may happen or can happen in the future. All right, so if you work harder, there's a chance you will pass. Do you understand? Okay, but this is the main way to say first conditional. Now I'm going to show you some other variations for you to know. We can use the first conditional using modals. Si trabajas más, puedes aprobar. Si trabajas más, podrías aprobar. Now, if you work harder, you can pass, you could pass. So, as you have already studied modals, there's no problem about using them here in the first conditional. This is the structure you have to follow. In this case, we're gonna say the present simple one more time, okay? If you work harder, si trabajas más duro, you can, you could, you should, you may, you might pass, okay? So it depends what you want to say. You're going to use one or another. If you work harder, si trabajas duro, you can, puedes aprobar. If you work harder, you could, podrías aprobar. If you work harder, you should, deberías aprobar. If you work harder, you may or might, a lo mejor apruebas. So it depends what you want to say. You're going to use one or another, okay? And it is exactly the same use. We're going to use the first conditional using modals in the result here. When we want to talk about possible or likely situations now, in generally, or in the future, okay? Now we can use the first conditional with imperative too, okay? I'm talking about this kind of sentences. Si quieres aprobar, estudia, okay? So if you want to pass, study, okay? That's it. And this is the structure you have to follow, okay? As always, the first part, the condition is going to be with the present simple. And the second part, just the verb, imperative. Yeah, it is an order. So we're going to use the first conditional with imperative just to give orders or advices under a condition. Okay, so if you want to pass, study. Imperative. Okay? Now we're going to practice some sentences here just to see if you understand what we have seen. We're going to write a first conditional with these elements, items that I've got here. Okay, so if I finish homework early, I will watch the football match. Okay, so you've got many different options here. I will, I can, I could, I may, might. Okay, so it depends what you want to say. You're gonna write a proper model here in this second part in the result. Okay, now remember the most used first conditional is with will. Okay, so let's see another example. Mary arrived late at night. Her mother get angry. All right, so if Mary arrives, remember this is the present simple, late at night, her mother will get angry. May, a lo mejor se enfada, may get angry. All right, can, se puede enfadar. Could, se podría enfadar. So it depends what you want to say. Now, the sense of your, the idea, what you're saying. So you can choose one or another, right? So it depends on you, what you want to say, right? Next one. I not go to bed early, be tired tomorrow. Okay, so if, remember, present simple, if I don't go to bed early, I will be tired tomorrow. Exactly the same. I could, I may, so it depends what you want to say. You're going to say one thing or another. Okay. You eat all the cake, be sick tomorrow. All right, so here we go again. If you eat all the cake, you will be sick tomorrow. You can, you could, you should, so it depends on you. All right. You want to save your life, run. Okay, so I suppose this is imperative, yeah? Now, if you want to save your life, run, okay? You may run, you can run, you could run, you should run. You know, I think the most proper thing to say here, it is run, imperative.